For the love of God, get premium gas in your Harley. Hey, welcome back everybody. So I just want to remind you we're having a contest this month. I took a trip to the city, had a doctor's appointment down there and went to the doctor, and I rode back. It's about 100 miles, right under, or just right over 100 miles, trip there and trip back to Oklahoma City and around. Came in around 250 I think for the day, and so that was fun. I get back the next day, I go get gas, and I'd already filled up twice the day before, and I did it at 75 miles. I don't like to go over 100 miles in my Sportster because it only has the smaller tank, not the tour tank or whatever. It might be four in I've seen it say 4.5 gallons, but I've never put in over 3 gallons. And I mean, there's no gas left in that tank when I put in 3 gallons. And that's even before I lifted the tank. So I just don't feel comfortable going over 100 miles on the Sportster unless I know there's a gas station every 5 miles. You know, like, because I'm just running around town. I'm not taking a chance on being on the highway and being 30 miles away from a gas station when you're coasting on fumes. And if you're on the highway, I don't want to go traipse 10 miles off the path just to go look for, hopefully, and find a gas station that sells the right gas, which I will get to here in a minute. Okay, so I'm back in Pawnee. I go to fill up, just to top up. This will be the third time that I've put 1.5 gallons roughly in the tank. I'm getting 46 miles to the gallon. So I go put 1.5 gallons in the tank. And I'm thinking, this is the second time I'm thinking this way, because I did it the last time coming back from Oklahoma City. I'm only going to put about 1.5 gallons in here. That's all it's going to take. You know, somebody else has been using the pump. They're using a cheap grade. I'm not going to get any of the good grade, but I'm going to pay for it because I'm going to get everything out of the hose. Is pretty much going to fill my tank. So I put in a cheaper grade, and it just so happens to be ethanol. Have ethanol in it. So everything goes fine. I get back to Pawnee, pull it into the shop, and, you know, everything's fine. I start it up. I let it set for a day. I don't ride for a day. I leave it set for a day. Then I go into Stillwater today. And when I get to Stillwater, this is only about 40 miles away. I get to Stillwater and I hear this high buzz, this high-pitched buzz, this zing, and it doesn't sound like when you're priming the pump. It just, and I can't tell where it's not a real, it's a faint high-pitched buzz. I go, man, that just sounds bad. That just sounds bad. So I take care of what I'm taking care of in town. I had to get a micrometer to install the springs, because I want to make sure that I get the slack out of the belt and all that kind of stuff, because I'm going to install slightly larger springs. So I get a micrometer from Harbor Freight. They've got a Harbor Freight in Stillwater. Luckily, I don't have to go to Oklahoma City to do that anymore. So that's cool. And it's still buzzing. It's buzzing. I go get something to eat, and then I go to Harbor Freight, and it's buzzing every time I start it up. I get to my mom's house, and it's been cutting out on the way, and a little backfiring, and not bad, but it hasn't backfired in forever, for the longest time. So all these things are really strange, and I still hear this buzz. It's still buzzing, and it's buzzing, and I, you know, look it up and everything, and it's like, I don't know, and I call Wilson Power Sports. Well, they can't get me until a week and a half from today, Friday. I'm like, man, that really kind of sucks. I said, okay, so just save the appointment for me, and if I can get it taken care of, I can figure out what it is, I'll just call and cancel the appointment. Otherwise, I'm going to bring it into you guys, because hopefully you guys will know better than I do. They have one Harley guy there. He's not certified, but he's thought about going to get certified. And we don't have a dealership in Stillwater anymore. It used to be Foreman, Harley Davidson. He died, and the family decided to let it go. And that's what they did. So no dealership in Stillwater anymore. So I got to go to Oklahoma City or Tulsa to actually go to Harley store anymore. And I was getting parts in Stillwater. I don't want to have to go to Oklahoma City to get parts, or Tulsa to get parts. No offense if you're from Tulsa, but I don't like Tulsa. I've always had trouble getting around Tulsa. And there's always been crazy construction every time I've been there. So I gotta turn this car on. Sorry, guys. It is just frying right now. So my point here, guys, is make sure you get premium gas. For the love of God, get premium gas in your Harley. Pump. So it's a brand new pump. I replaced the pump last year, and I got stranded because the I can't remember what it's called, but the crimp, the tightening ring crimp that they gave me didn't tighten down enough, and the fuel line slipped off of the pump. So I died just outside of Stillwater coming back one day, and I'm sitting on the road for like 2 hours, because not every tow service can pick up a bike. I mean, unless you want to lay it over like a slab of meat. And I didn't want to do that with my bike. And I had suspected it had something to do with that, but I didn't have the tools, and I didn't have any place to drain the fuel, and I didn't have everything I need on the side of the road to fix it. And I didn't have anything that would have substantially held that tube on any more than what they gave me. So I could have done all that, put the tube back on, and it slipped off another mile down the road. So I just got a tow, and it took, I mean, no offense to the tow person, but it took him, he was on another call, and it took him 2.5 hours to get there, I think, something like that. But he did get there, and he got me home and everything, and got the bike in good condition. You know, had a specialized trailer for the bike, so no laying it over like a slab of beef. But I knew it was probably the pump. It's high-pitched noise, and then all of a sudden, when I left, coming back for Pawnee, well, pretty much as soon as I started it up, it just started humming, and you could tell it was coming from the tank. You could tell it was coming from the tank. So I stopped at the nearest gas station, a decent gas station, and I put 91 octane in it. No ethanol, or trace amounts of ethanol, because you can't get real gas everywhere. So they have to say there's trace amounts of ethanol in it. I could only cram a gallon of gas in there, because I'd only been 50 miles on the tank. So I crammed this 91 octane, a gallon of this 91 octane into the tank, and then I just kept it in the high rev range all the way home. And that's another thing. It was sputtering and burping and backfiring and cutting out and doing all kinds of crazy stuff in the low revs. So like in first gear, you know, when you're just rolling, in second gear when you're going about 25 miles an hour, it was missing. So I just kept it in a lower gear, kept it in the higher RPMs, and I had no problem. I got it all the way home. Of course, on the highway, you know, I was in 5th gear and plenty high enough RPMs, and I got it all the way home. But again, for the love of God, put premium gas in your Harley. I know you've heard that, and I know you're supposed to put that in. Used to put 93 octane in it when I got the bike, but I can't find 93 octane anymore. I can't find 93 octane anymore. So, and I'm thinking, well, you know, if I'm putting in what the last guy put in, because I'm only putting in 1.5 gallons, why am I paying this premium price for substandard fuel? Well, I think the ethanol was choking out the filter or clogging it up, and that's why it was sputtering, and that's why I was trying to die, and that's why it was backfiring and doing all this other stuff. I am not a mechanic. I'm not a mechanic, guys. Anything I do to my bike, you can do to your bike, because I'm not a mechanic. So it took me forever originally to figure out and admit that it was the fuel pump. And then I replaced the fuel pump, and it still wouldn't start, and that's because the fuel line had slipped off the first time, and I just didn't want to dig back into take the tank off, drain the tank, do everything you have to do in order to get the pump out, because you got to take it out of, it doesn't come out of the fuel cap, it comes, there's a plate on the bottom that it all attaches to, and you have to take that off the tank. So really, you have to take the tank off, drain the tank, flip the tank, and undo this plate, pull the whole assembly out. That's how it's done. If you haven't done that before, that's how it's done on the fuel injected models. It's not a drip. There's no pit cock. It all goes through the internal pump in the tank. Don't go with ethanol at all. Don't go with ethanol at all. And it might have been dirty gas too, but I did get enough gas in there, I think, to kind of free it up a little bit, and then I kept it in the high rev range, and that kind of helped force enough fuel through, I think, that I got it home. I'm still going to have to take this tank off, flip it over. I need to look at the filter, make sure it's not damaged permanently, or if it's just dirty. Either way, I'm probably going to have to replace the filter. So that's my story. Please, 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 only premium, the most premium gas that you can get from the gas station that you are forced to get gas from. Because let's face it, if you're in the middle of nowhere and it's either no gas or less than premium gas, you got to get home. And unless you got a follow vehicle, then you're not carrying any extra gas. That's my story, guys. I will see you next time with hopefully some surprises. I'm hoping this is not anything significant other than that filter in that pump. I think it resolved itself on the way home, and I think I can maybe just clean the tank out, you know, make sure that there's good gas in there, maybe change that filter, and go on with my day. I'm hoping hopefully it didn't cause any further damage. But I will see you next time with hopefully an install video of some kind. Hopefully it will probably be the shocks. Do remember we have the contest for either the Osmo Action Original or the GoPro Black 7, Hero Black 7. If we get to 100 subscribers by the 1st or by the last day of July in August, I will tally up all the comments and all the subscribers, and if I can verify that you're a subscriber, you may win one of those cameras, and it will be your choice whether you want the Osmo Action Original or the GoPro Black 7. So if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and I'll see you with a new video. And until then, keep your swerve tight and get out and ride.